Good morning, actually. I am here with you live today. Our day number 3 recording did not work in the way that I wanted it to work so that I could serve you best. And instead of just sending you the audio, I decided to come live and redo the class for you this morning. So today is Rediscover Your True Story. Rediscover your true story. And if you are here, drop a hello. Let me know you're with me. But I'm excited to get started with you today. We have so much great stuff to get covered. And I would love for you to drop, before we even get started, what has this week, how has this week, after these few days together, how has this week have impacted you? How has things started to shift for you? I'm just curious as to what you're noticing. Are you noticing a little bit more calmness, a little bit more awareness around where you get to shift and use your pattern interrupt? What is shifting for you? What are you noticing for yourself? Would love to hear from you. So let's get started. We're going to go into Rediscover Your True Story today. And I just wanted to recap for a moment the 3 pillars of transformation. The 3 pillars of transformations, these are musts. Like, this is what you have to do to create lifelong transformation. Reprogram your energy, your emotions, your chakras, and your subconscious. And we've been working on portions of this all week, and we will continue to work on this. But your energy, your energetic body, your body holds on to things. If you do not process the energy throughout your body, it's there. And it's directed to go into the energy of the experience that you currently have. And your emotions, if you aren't aware of what your emotions are, we talked about emotions yesterday. So if you missed yesterday's class, you want to go catch it. Emotions are your attraction factors. So really get in tune with your deep, deep emotions so that you can find out what you're attracting. We already know what you're attracting, but so that you can shift what you're attracting in your life. And then understanding your chakra system and rebalancing, bringing them into perfect harmony, gives you a way. Your chakras give you such a way to work on yourself mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. It's like a all in one, right? And then your subconscious mind runs 95% or 98%, depending on who you talk to, of your daily activities, of your choices or inactivities, or your habits that you have. So that's the first pillar of transformation. The second pillar of transformation is having a deep connection with your higher self, God, the universe, light, love, divine, earth, ocean, nature. And I want to be clear that I don't mean religion in this sense. What I mean is simply having a connection to your guidance, a connection to be able to surrender to something bigger than yourself. And I remember I grew up Catholic. I wouldn't consider myself a Catholic now, but I grew up Catholic. And I remember being in my confirmation year, which is where Catholics become adults in the religion. And I had such an amazing teacher. And she would tell me about all the miraculous signs that were given to her by God, by the saints and everybody that she believed in. And so what happens with most people is that we understand that there's a connection. We understand that there's something that created us, right? But from our stories, from our beliefs, from our experiences in life, things get covered up. And to be able to surrender, the ego doesn't like that. So when I say deepen your connection with your higher self, it's deepening your connection with what is already what you already know. It's just allowing it to unfold. The third pillar for transformation is being part of a sisterhood, a community, to be held accountable by a mentor. Right? All of those things are necessary to have lifelong transformation. And you know what? You cannot create that for yourself. How many of you have dropped below? If you're listening, drop below. If you had success in some areas of your life and then sabotaged and went back, you had great weight loss and then you gained all your weight back, You had a good relationship and then you lost it. You had money and then it went away. Like, these are signs that you've only transformed portions of your belief, and you're working from your mental state, trying to attract and create a life you love. Trying will get you nowheres. It's either you do or do not, as Yoda says, right? So you want to look at the three components, and we're going to talk and work through some more of them today in order to create lifelong transformation. So what is your story? What is the story of your life? Who are you really? Not who do you have to be or who do you think you need to become. Who are you in your heart? That's what I mean by your true story. And so your past doesn't define who you are, and you get to choose your path every single moment. And what happens for so many of us is that we live in our heart, we're born in our heart, we're born in our truest essence, and then we experience life. And that experience life either enhances who we are or actually shuts us down and covers us up, right? So what does the book cover currently say on your story? What's the cover say? My old book cover used to say "Scared Little Girl" or "Scared to Be Me," right? And I want you to think about that for a moment. The title of the book that you are currently living. And I want you to think for a moment, how is that rippling out into the world? How is it not only affecting you, but affecting your surroundings, your interactions, your relationships, family, friends? Maybe this ripple effect is already costing you careers and opportunities. So today, what we're going to discover is your new book, your new story that you get to write, the chapters in your book, and the ripple effect of your rediscovered story. Right? Your story's already in there. We just get to rediscover it. It reminds me of my client, Isabel. She came to me hiding who she was, judging herself, I'll say a people pleaser, did for everybody else, always did everything, had to make sure everything was perfect in her life. And when she came to me, she wanted to find peace, I believe is her word, find peace within herself and within her family. So not only was she able to do that, find the peace within herself, but now, a year and a half later, 2 years later, Isabel is making a huge impact through her nonprofit, new business ventures that she's taking on, helping people really step up and be present in their life. You get to do that too. You get to create a positive ripple effect in the world. Just like Stephanie. Stephanie came to me in the pandemic. She was a single mom of 2 small kids. She was what we call surviving life, right? Not living life, but just, getting the things done to actually stay alive. And she wasn't living, she wasn't present with her kids, she wasn't doing anything except making sure they stayed on task and got their schoolwork done and whatever she had to do to keep them, healthy and alive. And what she created, the ripple effect that she has created was she created a home. She moved across the country. She manifested a home in a school district that she wanted to have. Right now, she's in the process of manifesting her first ownership of a home. She's created a new loving relationship. So the ripple effect, the discovering your story is not necessarily just about you, but it's about the others in your life. Like Alexis, she was stuck in her life, didn't know where she wanted to go, just couldn't move through the dogma that she had been through in her life. And within her first year here, she not only finished her metaphysical school, but she also created her first published journal. So she's impacting the world in a way that we don't even know. Then we have Doreen. Doreen came to me before the pandemic, so she's been with me a while. She's training to be a coach right now. And she came with massive depression and uh, didn't undeservingness, didn't know she deserved to take care of herself because she took care of so many others. And she, by working on healing herself and stepping into her true story, she actually created a beautiful relationship with her mother, which was super unhealthy. And her mother's 92, which was super unhealthy years ago. So you get to rediscover your story today, and you get to leave, live in your magic feeling and create an empowering ripple effect in the world today. Tell me if that's exciting. Drop down yes, if you're excited about that. Just drop in the chat, yes. Yes. And if you're watching the replay, just participate as if you're watching live, right? Just participate if you're watching live. So, oh man, having challenges with my computer. Okay. So, I just want to share with you what's my true story. Here we go. Let me share my screen. Hopefully you can see myself as a young girl here. And, I had the true story of this being a girly girl, wearing tiaras, getting my nails done, being pretty and happy, off the shoulder clothes. I was all about fun and dancing and making people laugh and smile. That was my true story. And you have a story in you somewhere that we get to discover today. Right? And so in my story, my essence got covered up. This sassy little girl and these girls that were just all about love and fun got covered up by what people said to me, by my life experiences. So I began to hide me. I began to hide me and put chains on my heart. Right. And it got covered up from stories of my uncle telling me stories. I was sexually molested as a child, and my uncle used to tell me these stories that caused me not to want to be flirty, not to want to be pretty, not to want to be girly, because he created these thoughts in my head. I had other uncles share with me when I was loving myself from a innocent child perspective, just loving on my body. I remember my grandmother loved mirrors, and she had lots of mirrors in her kitchen, and that's how you entered into her house. And I would enter into her house and be like, oh my gosh, I love me. Look how pretty I am. And I would say these things from a place of not that I'm better than somebody else, but just owning me. And I got knocked down by my uncle. So I no longer wanted to experience that. I felt like it was egotistical. I felt like it was wrong to love on me. And so I put chains on my hearts. I was listening to this song came to me this morning by Tina Turner. What's love got to do with it? Who needs a heart when a heart can be broken? Not a singer, but that's what so often we get hurt and we start to lock away our heart so it doesn't get broken again. Right? That's what the ego does. So what is the story that you are covering up? What's the story that you are hiding? That's what we're going to dive into today. And the fastest way to healing and creating a life you love is to reconnect with yourself, reconnect with who you are at your heart. Just like my client Judy here. Let me share a picture since I have it. Judy here came to me in massive depression. She lost who she was. She covered up who she was, her true story, because herself. She's done therapy, psychotherapy, EMDR, you name it, she's done it. She's been in multiple communities in her lifetime and wasn't able to make the shifts in her life, but through our Fear to Freedom program, she was able to learn who she was, and she's about fun and spontaneity, and about community and being supported and being supportive. And right now she's living her best life. Has redirected her focus from depression to joy to happiness, and all that through the processes that you're learning here and my Fear to Freedom course. Because here's what happens. We learn things and our brain makes that new pathway, right? but we get to solidify it. If we don't make it thick, so we make a new pathway, it's like thin like this, right? So you get to work on it over and over and over again. So right now, this week, you've created many new thoughts, many new pathways, many new feelings. And what you get to do is that continuously work on that. That's why I offer a 12 month program to really solidify these new neural pathways that you're making. So many women miss the key for lifelong transformation. Often people talk about their problems, complain to their friends about their problems, and they think if I just fix my weight, my money, my relationships, I will be happy. Or you look to do everything on your own. Drop down below if you're one of those. Like, if I just fix my weight, I'll be happy. If I just had more money, I'd be happy. I can't ask for help. I got to do it on my own. I said, this literally stops you in your tracks because women are supposed to work together in community, in sisterhood. It's actually encoded in our DNA to be part of a support system, a community. So there are 3 keys to lifelong transformation, which is focusing on the problem, not focusing on the root, not the symptom of the root of the problem. Working on the subconscious to rewire your mind, rewire your energetic body, rewire your emotional body, as well as acquiring tools to help you to empower yourself at any given time. You know, how many of you go to therapy or counseling and you can't wait to get back to your next section because you need their guidance? Well, lifelong transformation is when you learn to embody tools, when you take things in and you start to implement them on a daily basis. And that's what we teach here in the Fear to Freedom program as well. And the last key to lifelong transformation is to be part of a community, to be part of a sisterhood. For those that don't know me, my name is Brenda Kiss, and I've helped thousands of women reduce their anxiety, overwhelm, self-doubt, to heal themselves from their past, to reconnect with their happiness by reconnecting with their heart and their essence. And I do that through my process in our Fear to Freedom program called Transformative Neuro Reiki, which is the fastest way to help you gain clarity around your inner conflict. You know, that part of you, the part of you that wants something more than what you have here, that's a conflict, right? Like there's this like inner dialogue that happens. Well, I want this, but I can't. I want this, but I can't, right? And so Transformative Neuro Reiki allows you to reprogram your subconscious, your energetic body, really helps you to connect to your higher self as being part of guided and being part of an amazing community to get you back into your heart. So we're going to go through, I just wanted to say, even if you're watching this replay, stay to the end and just you write free gift at the end of this and you will get a free gift from us. All right. So the fastest way to healing is what? Drop it in the chat. Drop it in the chat. What's the fastest way to healing? The fastest way to healing is to reconnect with your heart. Reconnect with your heart. There are multiple problems I see when people are looking to become their most authentic, creative expression of the world, when they're looking to come back to their truest essence of who they are, and realize you are not where you are in your life right now. You're in this spot, right? It's not necessarily your fault. After today, you will realize that you have choice. And so anything from moving forward, you get to realize that you have a choice to stay where you are or to grow, to expand, to move forward in your life. And so what I see so often is women are focusing on problems that aren't really the problems, right? We were talking about this earlier in the week. We focus on the weight. We focus on, if I change my relationship, if I had a relationship, then my life would be better. The truth is, when you focus on these areas that are outside of you, you're not focusing on what the root problem is, but rather the symptom of the problem. And therefore you switch one problem to another and to another and to another. Just like we talked about, you go from one diet to another diet, to one exercise plan to another exercise plan. You give up, you get recommitted. You leave one relationship only to find yourself in a similar relationship. Perhaps you change one addiction to another addiction. And the truth is The reason this happens is because you're working on surface level problems, surface level emotions, surface level thinking, and not getting to the root cause. And I shared this earlier this week, and I'm going to share it again. A couple weeks ago, I took my son to the doctors, and the doctor's like, "Oh, he's constipated. Just give him these supplements, and it will help him." And I say, "Okay, that's fine to help him for the moment, but what's causing the constipation? He eats a relatively good diet, blah blah blah. And so, if you focus just on the symptom, like the constipation, when there's no solution, it's a temporary fix." Right? So what is it? That's exactly what happened to me over the years of dieting. I would work I would work on diets plans and exercise plans and all of this. And here I was, whether you think I'm heavy in this picture or not, that one in the black and white, that was me on my day that I decided to change my life. 4 people asked me if I was pregnant that day. This is me 9 months later, because I released the weight that was weighing me down, the stories, the emotion, the baggage that was weighing me down. And here's the truth. The truth is, it's never about the weight. It's never about the money. There's always something underneath it. It's the belief systems that you have. It's the emotions that you're holding on to. It's not the surface level or the outer experience that's the root of the problem. The second thing I see so common, and drop below if you can relate to the relationships or the addiction, one for the other, if you can relate to what I just said. And here's the second thing I find, that people think you can do it on your own. And I want to be transparent. You absolutely can. It's just the longest path to your happiness. Having someone guide you rapidly increases your transformation, because it guides you because someone outside of you can see your challenges quicker than you can. How many of you have read a self-help book and said, "Oh, this is going to be the game changer for me," and then 2 days later it's done? And then you read another book and look for another piece of information, and then you're like, and you keep going back and you get into this perpetual cycle of needing to know more, needing to know more, needing to know more. The challenge with doing things on your own, self-help books or self-study classes, is that someone isn't there guiding you into seeing the deeper rooted cause, or even just holding you accountable to what the new actions are. Right? And I also see this a lot. Knowledge seekers and certifications getters, the people get stuck in learning. If I get this certification, I'll be able to get this job. If I get this, I'll be able to do that. If I learn this, I'll be happier. All these stories. I remember having a friend. She was a brilliant woman. She got her PhD. Prior to her PhD, you know what? She was living so stressful. She already had a beautiful career, a beautiful family, and she kept needing more and more and more and more. And every time she got to the next certification, the next grade, the next degree, she had to go to the next one, because she just felt like she wasn't enough. Knowledge alone isn't enough to create transformation. And that's where most people stay. They stay in just seeking knowledge. This is why I'm asking you to participate, to act, to take action during our sessions together. I don't want you to get stuck in knowledge. Be a participant in your life. It's the knowledge plus the action that creates transformation. And I was talking with one of my clients, Alexis, who put out her journal. And she shared with me that she has been in many different courses, many different self-studies, many different things. And she goes, Fear to Freedom is the first program that she ever took that she developed an internal empowerment, an internal inspiration to take action and live her life. That's how she's been wanting to write that journal for years, finish her certification in metaphysics for years. And starting with Fear to Freedom, she was able to complete that within the year that she was with me. Christine, who's one of my clients, shared that, the work here is really walking the walk, not talking the talk. And she's been in many other programs. But she said this program helped her to develop the belief within herself that she was worthy to walk the walk. worthy to walk the walk. So don't make these mistakes. Don't focus on, the wrong problem, the one part of you. Really look at all parts of you, all parts of you. You have to work on your emotions. Otherwise, they get stuck in your body. You have to work on your mindset, the subconscious, the positive things, the the emotional energetics that you have going on in your body. In 2017, I was running and I fell and I broke my jaw. I tripped and I broke my jaw in 2017. Fast forward, and so in there, I did spiritual work, I did energetic healing, I did mindful, subconscious work on changing my belief systems, tuning into what's the stories I was telling myself, what are the stories I'm continuing to tell myself. And I did all this work, had huge breakthroughs from that, not just a broken jaw, but breakthroughs. Always when we have breakdowns, we have breakthroughs, if you choose to create the breakthrough. And so just a couple months ago, I tripped and almost fell again. And all of a sudden, my whole body lit up as if I had fallen. And I realized in that moment that I didn't release the trauma from my body. So if you have trauma and things that are going through your body and you're not releasing it from your body, it's still in there. And it's blocking you from creating the space to attract the things that you want that you want in your life. So I got sick and tired of piecemealing everything together, trying to find my way when I was hurting and wanting to change. And I developed transformative neuro Reiki, which focuses on the 3 pillars of transformation. So tell me, where are you today? There's 3 types of people out there. Where are you today? Are you in the wishing and the hoping? There's no judgment, but you get to choose where you want to go. Are you in the wishing and the hoping, thinking that, oh my gosh, if I just had this magic bullet diet pill, this magic bullet, my life would change? You really want change, but you're not ready to commit. You're not ready to play full out. You really haven't decided that you were done living the way you're living. If that's you, drop wisher or hoper down. Or perhaps you dabble into the next category, which is the dabbling in the do-it-yourself. You show up, you start doing stuff for yourself, by yourself, books or classes or things like that. And the moment something comes up, and is uncomfortable, you let the ego take you out of the game. So instead of reaching out for help when resistance shows up, you just shut yourself down and take the possibilities away from you. So you'll just go dabble over here because maybe you'll get something there that will help you shift. And then you'll dabble over here or do it yourself over there. But when it gets challenging, you have a way to get out and you don't have to fully commit. And then you have the next category. So write down dabbler or do-it-yourselfer if that's you. And then we have the next category. I need a sip of water. Hold on. And that's I'm ready and all in no matter what. I'm ready and all in no matter what. These are the people who are ready to say yes to themselves, even when they're scared or uncomfortable or uncertain, but they're ready to move forward no matter what. Are you ready to move forward no matter what? Are you going to let ego, the old story, keep running your life? So today you get to take things you've learned into action and create transformation now to live your true story. So what are you going to create today for yourself? What are you going to create? There's 7 steps to transforming and rediscovering your true story. And that's by identifying and reprogramming your hidden beliefs, the stories you tell people, the stories you tell people, the stories you tell yourself, and then opening that heart, taking the locks off your heart and coming back and rediscovering you. I take women through a 12-month transformational program called Fear to Freedom, where we go inward to find your passion, your joy, your light, your love. I can't possibly fit everything into this in a 4-day course. I'm giving you as much as I possibly can to make this the tip of the iceberg, to make this the idea of helping you to open up to what's possible for you so that you can take your next step, right? You can take your next step, take the action. I remember there was one of my clients, her name's Kaylee. She came to me very skeptical, didn't have, had done therapy, counseling, a lot of different things to try to get herself out of her own way. And nothing was working for her. So she came here hopeless, depressed, and she had for the first time when she went through a program like this free mini course that you're in, she was feeling good and she started to feel light and started to feel hope again. And so she decided to move through into the Fear to Freedom program, and she is actually living back in a career that she loves without the stress and overwhelm because she learned tools to set boundaries, to take care of herself so that she can show up with an open heart in her truest essence. And then we have Linda, who came to me because none of the men in her life treated her with kindness. Her family was disrespecting her, not letting her be around them. And so she went through the 4-day mini course like you, maybe it was 5 at the time, and she decided to move forward with the Fear to Freedom program. And now she's traveling with her family. She's doing holidays with her family. She's hanging out with her kids. And you have choice to do that for yourself too. So what are the 7 steps here? The power of tuning in. We talked about that on Tuesday. Identifying and reprogramming hidden beliefs and emotions. We worked on that yesterday, and we're going to continue to work on this today, right? Learning where ego shows up. Learning where ego shows up is where you want to shut down, or perhaps it doesn't allow you to go through an exercise, or you talk yourself out of being able to stay present, or you decide in advance that something's not for you, or, all of a sudden you can't show up, you can't be here. That's all ego. And ego is doing that because ego likes you in your comfort zone, even if your comfort zone is not a good place. So you get to learn where ego shows up and how to shift out of that, right? How to shift out of that. And then there's forgiveness. Forgiveness is so powerful, but I can tell you, if you're holding on to too many stories, rules, and beliefs, forgiveness is a faraway destination. So we get to work on that and forgiveness. Forgiveness opens up your heart, opens up to possibilities, opens up to love. And when you're holding on to resentment, not able to trust people, anger, hurt, we got to delayer that and begin to forgive people. Setting healthy boundaries, knowing when to say no, when to say yes. Sharing who you are and having and doing the things that you want. Being able to see your future, visualize, see possibilities in your life. That's step 6. And connecting to your higher power. Connecting to, we all have that opportunity too. It's delayering the piles of crap that's on you, that's stopping you from fully connecting and feeling the guidance and hearing your guidance and seeing your guidance. Everything in life is a choice, whether you realize it or not. I remember my first class, transformational class program that I enrolled in. I was scared, uncomfortable, not happy with my weight. I was skeptical. I was a little bit mean. And I thought that this program was not going to help me. I had never invested any money in myself outside of college. So this was my first investment. And I just wanted to break free from the hurt, from the food handcuffs. I had an eating disorder. I had exercise bulimia, and I was just not happy. I was that fake happy, right? Happy on the outside, but on the inside, just so mean to myself. And I wanted to be able to look in the mirror and love what I saw. When you say yes to you, all of that is possible. That yes to me in that transformational program, I realized that I could look myself in the mirror now. I had rapid transformation, and that's what I'm going to share with you. And I can guarantee you this. I wanted guarantees that night, and so I want to give you a current guarantee. If you continue to do what you are currently doing, you're going to continue to get the same results that you are currently getting. If you continue to do what you are currently doing, you will continue to get the same results that you are currently living. And I wanted different results. How about you? Drop it in the comments. Yes or no? Yes or no? And the other guarantee I can share with you is that you will learn, and this is when you can choose to own or not, that everything in your life happens for you, not to you. And when you live in that state, you have the ability to create whatever you want. Everything happens for you, not to you. Not to you. So today we're going to look at things that you want in your life. You get to give yourself permission to allow yourself to go with me, to dream, to see possibilities. You cannot continue to create change in your life if you don't know where you want to go. So here's what I know from working with my clients in my Fear to Freedom program. It's about stepping outside of your comfort zone. It's about getting rid of that box thinking that we talked about getting rid of the box feelings that are keeping you trapped. It's time to break free. Break free. You know, most women, when they come to me, they're skeptical, uncertain, and not even sure if they're worthy of investing and if they are able to. And here's what I can tell that they all had in common. They weren't all financially secure. They weren't all, none of that. There was different challenges for every single one of my clients. Were all unique and yet all the same. The one thing they had in common is they decided that they didn't want to be in their current situation anymore. They were done living in pain and suffering. And they were willing to do what it takes, physically or emotionally. Just like my client Donna here. There you go. So you can see her. Donna, she suffered depression, needed, but didn't know where to get the help. She was overwhelmed, couldn't trust her life, scared. She didn't even know she was making good decisions in her life. And she had been in therapy as well, right? Now she has healthy boundaries. She got out of an really toxic relationship, has made beautiful decisions, changed her careers, got her first home, living her life, getting her health in a beautiful state. And that's all by uncovering her true story. She had to let go of the old story of not being worthy, of not feeling, and you have that choice. So let's work on your perspective today. Let's work on rediscovering who you, right? Stories of limiting beliefs, of the stories that you tell yourself are limiting beliefs of keeping you from your possibilities. So what we're going to do right now is an exercise. So wherever you are, take a seat, grab a pen and paper. So grab a pen and paper and then take a seat and close your eyes. And take a nice deep breath in and out. Another deep breath in and out. One more deep breath together. And out. Just allow yourself this moment to go through this process. This moment to give yourself the gift of healing. And just allow, with every breath in and every breath out, the subconscious mind to open. And you'll be surprised at how easy it is for you now to hear different thoughts, different feelings, different awarenesses. And I want you to recall, maybe over the past day or two, or past month, I should say, stories that you tell yourself, the I can't stories. I can't be happy. I can't have fun. I can't afford things. I can't get a job. I can't. What are the I can'ts? I can't settle my mind. I can't create change. I can't get over my anxiety. I can't let go of stress. What are the I can'ts that you are telling yourself? What are those stories? And take a minute and open your eyes and just allow yourself now to write them down. Allow yourself now to write down the I can'ts of your world. You know, in last night's class, I will send the audio. I don't have the visual isn't there, but I will send the audio because every class I do, even though it's the same topic, is always slightly different. So I'll send the audio so you can listen to that as well. But some of the stories, I can't be seen, I can't trust, I can't change. Those were some of the stories that came in last night. What are some of your stories? Drop them in the chat for me. Drop them in the chat. And now what I want you to do is just simply try. Before that, just recognize, take a moment, close your eyes again. And I want you to recognize the feeling that you have when you say, I can't, whatever. Pick one. I can't have fun. What does that feel like for you when you say that? And here's what was being shared last night: defiant, sad, angry, because when you say I can't, you actually relinquish your power. And you give your power to something outside of yourself. And so therefore you no longer have choice. You put yourself into the victim story of your life. So now what I want you to do is take the word I can out, cross it out, and just put I won't. I won't be happy. I won't let go of my past. I won't have fun. And when you say that to yourself, what do you notice is different for you? What do you notice is different for you? When you do that, when you change the I can't to I won't, you realize that there is a choice for you, that there is choice in your life. And I'm not saying that the won'ts feel good. What I'm saying is, by putting yourself in that space of the I won't, you give yourself the ability to see that you have choice to make a change. You have choice to see something differently for yourself, right? So I want you to stand up right now. Stand up, and I want you just to realize how powerful you are. How powerful you are. There we go. You can see me. So stand up with your feet planted, and you're going to leave your feet planted as far as you can. Planted during this entire exercise. You're going to lift up your right arm, and you're going to turn it behind you. And then you're going to turn your head and look down your arm to the left of you and the right of you like this. And then you're going to bring your arm back and put it down. And when you do that, once you do that, now close your eyes, feet planted. Take a deep breath in and out. Another deep breath in and out. And in your mind's eye, with your imagination, as you continue to breathe on your own, I want you to imagine that you're bringing your arm up, your right arm up in front of you like you just did a second ago, but this time in your imagination. And you're turning your arm behind you. And this time you're allowing yourself to dream bigger, go bigger. And you're allowing your arm to go as far as you possibly can. And you're twisting and turning that arm as far as you possibly can. And allowing yourself to go even further than you thought was possible. Even further than you thought was possible. Okay, and then bring your arm in your mind's eye back to the front of you, down by your side. Now open up your eyes. Now physically bring your arm up. Turn it behind you and see how far you go. And just notice how much further you were able to go by opening up some thought processes, by choosing to move your arm further, by allowing yourself to see that you had choice, that there was possibility in your life. So go ahead and sit down. and rub your hands together like this for a moment. And then what you're going to do is you're going to open up your hands, palms facing the ceiling. And I'm going to take you through an exercise. And when we go through the exercise, your eyes will be closed. And you will look in your one hand with your eyes closed. Then you're going to look in your other hand with your eyes closed. Then you're going to bring your hands together. And then you're going to open them up. And then I'm going to ask you a question based on your answer. You're going to bring them to your heart. Okay? And so I'm going to ask you to look at your dominant hand and your non-dominant hand. If you don't have a dominant hand, just make it your right hand. Okay? All right. So here we go. Palms facing up. Close your eyes. Take a nice deep breath in and out. Another deep breath in and out. And on the next breath in, bring your awareness to your dominant hand. And then exhaling and then allowing yourself to breathe on your own breath. And in your dominant hand, I want you to notice a 12-inch version of you. This 12-inch version of you is the version of your magic feeling. And if you don't know what your magic feeling is the feeling that you want to live in. Peace, joy, happiness, calmness, contentment, whatever it is. So in your dominant hand is a 12-inch version of you. Allow yourself, just like you did with your arm a second ago, allow yourself to dream here. Allow yourself to really tap into your imagination. And this is easier than you think it is. Seeing a 12-inch version of you where you are just the version of you of who you desire to be. Notice her characteristics. Notice how she breathes, what she says to herself, her energy, her essence. Make everything about her more intense, amplify it, make her bigger and brighter and louder. That's right. You may have a vision of her, you may just sense her, you may feel her, you may even hear her. That's right. Now hold on to her with your eyes closed. Bring your awareness to your non-dominant hand. And in your non-dominant hand is this 3-inch version of you. It's the I can'ts and the I won'ts version of you. And if she's bigger than 3 inches, make her smaller now. But realize this version of you was here to keep you safe, but you're here for a reason. You're ready to release her. You're ready to let her go. You're ready for her to be healed and freed. So go ahead and say whatever you want to her. And now turn your hands to face each other, palm to palm, bringing your hands together, palm to palm, touching. And allowing this healing to happen, allowing your 12-inch version of you to heal her and set her free. That's right. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And then opening up your hands, palms facing the ceiling. And with your eyes closed, look into your non-dominant hand if you notice something neutral or positive. And in your non-dominant hand, notice if you notice something neutral or positive. If there's any heaviness left to your hands or not neutral or positive, keep your hands out. But if both hands are neutral and positive, bring both to your heart. And just allow that essence to fill you up. Allow the essence of who you are to be reignited with your heart, unlocking your heart. And allow that essence to pour through you. Make everything about you bigger, brighter, louder. Feel the essence dribbling through your whole body as your heart pumps your essence through your veins and your arteries. And allowing yourself this gift of embodying your magic feeling, the essence of who you truly are. That's right. And as you are in this essence, what is the new title of your book? What is your new story? What is your rediscovered story? What is the chapters? What are you telling yourself? How are you living and feeling every day? I want you to imagine yourself 3 months from now, with owning your new story, your rediscover story, the new title of your book, 3 months from now. And I want you to look back and I just want you to notice the difference you've experienced now. What new things came into your life? What new way of being were you? What did you attract? How did you feel? How's your health, your relationships? And as you continue to live your truest essence, jump another 3 months into the future, bringing you 6 months into the future now. 6 months into the future. And just take a pause and reflect over the last 6 months. What's possible? What was possible for you? What did you accomplish? What changed? What shifted for you? What new title? What new chapters are being written? That's right. And then jump another 6 months into the future, 1 year from today, living in your truest, most authentic story. See what's different for you. Notice what's changed, what new opportunities opened up, what new relationships came in. How are you showing up every day? And just as easy as it is to look at what you've accomplished, take a look into your future from your 12-month mark. What's possible for you now? And just allow the subconscious mind to flood your conscious mind with all of these different opportunities, these new positive thoughts, feelings, energy. And when you open your eyes in a minute, take a moment to write down your new story and your new chapters. Go ahead and drop them in the chat now. Go ahead and drop them in the chat. Would love to read them. You know, my client Joni changed her story from the I can'ts to from skepticism and anger to one of possibilities, one of creating a move where she wanted to move, creating a job where she wanted to create it. You know, became a teacher when she thought she couldn't. She was too old, she used to tell herself, to start a career. She changed the title of her book and is on the journey of continuing to create greatness in her life. So what's possible for you? What would that mean if this worked out for you? I mean, if you woke up tomorrow and everything worked out the way you want it to be, how would your life be? What's that new story you were telling yourself? Tell me, I want to hear. And here's an opportunity to continue to work on that for yourself, to continue to open up these possibilities for you so that you can solidify the work that you've done here. So often what I see is people think that, oh my God, I feel better. I'm getting changed. Yes, now is your next step. Now is where you continue to take action. By now, you already know that the action is the key in your transformation. So you get to continue to take action. And I've given you an opportunity here to possibly become part of our Fear to Freedom program. It's a transformational program that supports you and guides you into owning, not just knowing and realizing, but owning your true story. The Fear to Freedom heals you on all levels, emotionally, subconsciously, energetically, spiritually, helps you to connect. We create rapid, lifelong transformation because we embody the experiences. We embody the lifestyle. We don't just talk about it, but we go through the year working on embodying these experiences. Fear to Freedom helps you to develop your inner confidence, your empowerment, inspiration, so that you can move through and go in places that you want to go. It connects you to your higher self and helps you develop deep, meaningful relationships. It helps you to continue to rediscover who you are. You are held high and called out on any bullshit so that you can continue to do the deep subconscious work and deep energetic clearing. You were supported 100% along the way. And I want to share with you right now that you have an opportunity here today to apply. Doors are open for my Fear to Freedom program. They will only be open for a few days. So you want to take action. The universe loves speed. So you have an opportunity to apply. We really want to make sure you're the right fit for our program. And of course, you want to make sure we're the program that wants to fit you, right? And so we have an application process. It's a simple process of you go to apply.brendakiss.com, fill out an application. And in that, once you fill it out, you book your call for an application call. And here's where we get to discuss all the things that you are looking for. And we share with you exactly how this program can or cannot support you. And we go from there. So this is your opportunity to take it to the next step. And I remember my client, Dawn, who wanted to change her life. She wanted to make change. She was scared. She was nervous. She wasn't sure what to do. The pandemic had just come. She's a hairdresser. She didn't know when her salon was going to be opening, when she was going to have income in her life. But she literally was so lost on this emotional roller coaster, done 1,000 different diets, couldn't figure out why she was never happy. And it wasn't until she said yes, nervous, scared, but also excited for what's possible in her life. And now she's living her best life. I'm going to see her on Sunday, actually. She just got back from a vacation. She travels all the time. She became a business owner, wasn't relying on anybody else. She took ownership of her life, and she's living her best life. And you can do too, just by applying. Filling out the application is the next step for you. It's the step of action that you get to take to break through another barrier. And then I have my client, Elaine. She was so nervous about saying yes to herself because she was so good at putting everybody else first. She was so good of being a doormat and catering to everybody else and not being herself, not honoring herself. And when she went through the application process, she learned so much about herself that she decided to say yes. We decided to bring her on. Felt like it was a good fit. And here's the thing, she found her voice. She has studied a new career. She's changing careers because she's living her true story. And by now you realize it's your time too. It's your time to live your true story. So go to apply.brendakiss.com, live your best life, fill out the form, book your call, and we cannot wait to talk to you. If you have any questions, drop them here. Be on the lookout today for some really amazing stories that I'll be sharing with you throughout the day. And I'll see you tonight. Book your call, apply now. Can't wait to see you. Bye now.